Yo, what's up? So look, check this out. There's many multifaceted aspects to this realm that we in. And somebody was saying the other day in one of the comment sections, they was talking about how we are in a cosmic, multi-dimensional television show. And I wanted to bring this up for those who are looking for another coping mechanism. Yeah, I know this sounds kind of wild and out there, maybe even a little weird or crazy, but you gotta have your coping mechanism. So I can believe that. I can see that. A lot of the times we come up with the whole "this is a Truman Show" shit. So when UFO beings come here and they come to observe or do whatever they do, collect data, tap into the resources, and all those different type of things they be into and shit. It can also be there's beings in other dimensions that physically live that tap into us. Sort of like how when you go to the mall or, back in the past, you would go outside and people watch if you was into that. Like you just be chilling and shit, smoking, drinking, whatever you doing, eating your food or just people watching. Like how the older niggas did. There's beings out in the fucking universes and in other dimensions who tap into us like a fucking cosmic cable channel and shit and get to see how we live. Sort of like, kind of like anybody who ever grew up off of PBS. We used to be out there watching the animals and shit, how they live in their environments. They had Nova, and then they had the Nature Channel and shit like that. There's motherfucking beings out there that's possibly doing the same thing with us. So when you inside of a program feeling like you being gang stalked or followed, targeted, what else? Blackballed, gaslit, harassed, whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about legitimate shit. Like, me personally, I don't really get off into the whole color coordinated shirt, one light on the car, all that shit right there. Like, that's like lower level shit to be annoyed by. For real. Because me, I used to get irritated by traffic jams and shit like that. Like you gotta go somewhere and then all of a sudden on your street where you gotta go, there's a bunch of construction workers blocking the motherfucking road and shit. So now you gotta go way out your way to get right there around the corner. That's annoying. That's more annoying than the other shit. I think some people, they really in a TV show for real. That get annoyed by every little small detail. Like that shit right there, I pray for them kind of people. I hope they find deliverance within themselves to get stronger, to be able to overcome the little small petty shit. So just like SRBG say, graduate from that level 1 of John Wick. Because that's basically what that is for real. Me, I got tossed into level 3, like right off the bat. I had whole cities like coming against me and shit. So it was like being on that movie Fallen with Denzel Washington, Everybody was acting weird and strange and shit. And it's like they was all in synchronicity, in synchronized against the nigga and shit. Like when I would try to get a job and shit, I see they hiring, but they just want to hire me. When I try to go out in the streets and hustle, they'll buy everybody product, but they'll ignore my ass and not buy my shit at all. Like, I ain't trying to say I did this shit, but I did some things, some street products I would sell. These motherfuckers would go out their way to not buy that shit. even if they was fiends and they really, really was looking for it and they wanted it bad, they'll make sure they ain't having that desire around me because they got access to other people at some point in time to be able to just get their shit, to not support my shit. So that whole going out into the streets, into the field, and making money off the streets and off the people and off the field, that's a hard thing to do when your ass really dealing with this shit out here. Especially when you like really, really one of them ones, you know what I'm saying? The ones with the soul that the demiurge really just don't rock with like that because it's so intimidated by you that it feel like any type of success that you touch or you grab, it'll fucking shake the matrix up. And all you doing is just trying to live like the next motherfucker. But for whatever reason, your energy signature really, really is powerful. So it got to go through these measures to do these type of things to you and shit, to block your ass. So, you know, when later on in life, when I came into this knowledge about, you know, the false people in reality, I mean, I already could connect to it. It made sense. That was a receipt right there. Because, you know, there ain't no way in hell I could participate in all the survival techniques everybody else doing, but they just didn't work for me. I can go out here and have a successful plan, execute it, and it just gets sabotaged. It goes to the left. There ain't no cooperation from the environment around me. Like that type of shit right there, it teaches you how to move even differently. Like, I don't like to move that way, but man, it get exhausting, and you got to learn how to move that way. Like, you got to learn how to, like, find places to sleep outside, you know, stay out the weather. You got to be having your eyes peeled. You got to be real creative and see things that other people can't see in your immediate environment so you can make it. So, like, this is some real life shit right here. You got to learn how to sleep outside in different little places. You got to stay clean so it don't look like your ass out here. You got to keep your mind sane. You got to reserve your energy. So, basically, that's on your devices. Reserve your energy with your devices and with you, because you might need your devices for whatever. One of the places that help you keep a little bit of change in your pocket, even though a lot of people probably think, you know, what, they don't like to do it, but, you know, going to these plasma centers and shit, that gets a little bit of change in your pocket. You know what I mean? That's one thing they just can't stop you from, because they want you to do that. You know, you're giving up your DNA and all that type of shit. So if you got to resort to that, always pray when you do that shit. Like, I pray that my DNA gets transmuted into something that they are able to use, while I use this as a means to have some type of currency in my pocket. So then you can, you know, you pretty much looking at yourself at that moment, in that time, in that space, like you look like an animal, like a rat or something, you know, like a stray dog, you know, sleeping in the doorway of a place, or going to an abandoned building and shit. Learning how to hop on the trains. You grab you a tent up, stay out in the woods somewhere and shit near a tent city. Get some like propane tanks so you can stay warm type shit. These are different little methods. To save your money, you figure out where all the lunch lines at, the soup kitchens, the pantries. And then you live off that. You go to like the little churches and shit and get the clothes and stuff. And then me, I always liked it to do something a little bit slightly different. I always like to stay near a river or a pond or some shit like that. A flowing pond or a river. Don't ever try to wash up in some still water, because that's how you get parasites. Still water always got germs and shit like that in it. Stay the fuck away from still water. That shit'll fuck you up. But like free flowing, like water that's flowing, that's safe. Like you can take a bar of soap that you got, and in the middle of the night somewhere, everybody sleep, you get stripped naked and wash the fuck up. In the summertime, though, of course. Now, in the wintertime, that's when you got to nut up and be a part of the system if you stuck in an environment where it's cold and it's snowing outside, and just go to them shelters. You ain't got no choice at that point. And then what you do is you just don't talk to people, man, and be ready to fight. If your health is okay, be ready to fight. Anybody that come in your face that's on that weird shit trying to make you talk to them and interact with them and you don't have to, and they not coming to you, like when they not coming to you with anything that you can use as an opportunity to get up out of that situation, don't talk to them. They're useless. They have no validity. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how you got to move. You got to be like on some super tough shit. Even if you can't win or you don't know, you know, you just got to be on that type of time. That's how I can go anywhere. I could go to Chicago, Detroit. It don't matter. I could be out in LA somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to have them type of problems other people have, because when you tap into the heartbeat of the street and you really like, you know what I'm saying, let these motherfucking streets know, like, look, nigga, I don't care if you kill me, motherfucker. I'm going to stand up for mine. That hit different, especially when you mean it and you really feel it, what you saying. And all that shit can really happen to you like how you say it. Like, I don't care if I get killed and shit type shit. All that type of shit will just get away from you. You ever heard of that saying, like, if you resist the devil, it'll flee? Well, if you resist fear, it will, things that try to bring you fear will flee. So you have to be like that. And this advice is for people like, you know what I'm saying, that really be finding themselves by themselves for reals. You know what I'm saying? So how do you like even get into like a plasma center if you ain't got no address? So you kind of gotta like do one of the two things. You can go to a library, look up addresses that you seen on the street, because you gotta walk all around outside. You see abandoned houses and shit. See an abandoned house, what you do is you the reason why you go to the library, so you can get like an envelope and whatever you need to do. And then you can write yourself a letter to that abandoned address. And then boom, be on the lookout every other day. And then when the mail come, even though like the mail person, some of them they will deliver the mail to the abandoned house, and other ones they know it's abandoned and won't. And then it's your job to find out like where that mail went, which what do you call it? Post office it went to, if it don't go to the particular address. Or you can have something ordered, delivered, do a subscription, sign up for like a magazine, something, just to have something with your name, with your mail, get sent to some kind of address. If you don't have like family or relatives or a bitch or a homie or something to send that shit to, you can figure it out. Just I ain't trying to get too much details on that shit, because that's way too much sauce for y'all motherfuckers. I know the enemy listening, but you know what I'm saying, you'll figure that out, and then boom, you have a name with your address on it. And these little fucking fake ass agencies and shit, they need something like that, so then they can believe that you're not on the street. And then you can start to go to like a plasma center or some shit like that. So then, you know, you sleeping outside still. You follow the homeless people where they at. They know where all the places to get like covers and tents and all that shit. You just gotta listen, pay attention, watch. You know, go where they go. A lot of them fake. They not really homeless for real. They just have to live that life, because there's people like you with a soul that's being anticipated at any given moment. You a check away from hitting the streets, or one black ball away from hitting the streets, or you one opportunity or argument stand with somebody from being in the streets. You one health issue away from hitting the streets. Here go another one. Like, if you got health issues, Go to the hospital over and over all the time. Go to the hospital over and over all the time. Always go. The reason why you want to do that because you're building a rapport up so you can eventually get on disability. But on the back end of that, if they give you like antibiotics, pain pills, shit like that, just keep them shits. What you really want to do behind all of that is make sure you're doing parasite cleanses and all that shit I was talking about. Do the real shit. Like the real shit for your health. You know what I'm saying? Get on your oregano oils and stuff like that. You know, high doses of vitamin C. You want to fuck with sulfur products. You know, drink like sea salt water and be on your what's that shit? Iodine, all that type of shit. Eat hot foods, garlic. You know, stay with the cinnamon stuff. You know, just research this shit. You know, do the holistic health thing to get your health on track. You know, if you got any type of injuries, do your own therapy as far as like working your arms out, your legs out, your back out, and shit like that. You got to do that for yourself. But if